Vibe coding has completely changed the game for me. I'm building better and faster than ever. And today we're going to pit two tools against each other to see what is the superior vibe coding large language model. For some quick context, what we're going to be doing is vibe coding a landing page for this custom software that I built for our pickleball course. Essentially a tool that players can go in and find local games and players near them, create games, in-app messaging, full dashboard with stat tracking, etc. We need to build out a nice, sexy page so we can get this out to the market and get people to start using the tool. I built this on Lovable here, and I've got a different video on Lovable that'll pop up somewhere around the video if you want to check it out. But I asked Lovable to give me a complete breakdown of the app, and I gave it the context. With AI, context is everything. Your prompts are everything. So I gave it the context that I was going to be using another large language model, likely Claude, to build out a page to get people to sign up, and I asked for a complete breakdown with that in mind so it will word it and prompt it in the best possible way for the large language model to respond. What I did then is I've opened up Claude and ChatGPT. Now both of these are in my project folders for Transition Zone Pickleball. I always recommend creating folders for projects and just continuing to feed it all of the information about those projects. It always helps things move faster. So what I did from here is I gave both of these the same prompt. We need to vibe code a landing page for this product. Let's do it in sections. I'll post the HTML info I'll post the HTML code into a code element on Go HighLevel. This is important, right? I'm telling it how I'm going to use the code it gives me, so it gives it to me in the proper format. Different tools respond to different codes differently, so it knows where I'm putting it, how I'm using it, and it's going to automatically build it correctly. Next, I'm giving it the logo file I want to use. Here's our logo file. I just go to my Go HighLevel media folder, I copy the link and I paste it in. And I said attached, and we'll do this in a second, is an image of what I want you to replicate. However, I want a stronger, more compelling headline. Below is all of the project info, and then I pasted the info below. So what I'm going to do is, Lovable actually kind of mocked up its own nice little page for me, and I like the overall aesthetic, but I don't want it built through Lovable. I want it all done inside of HighLevel for marketing purposes. So what I'm going to do, however, is just grab a screenshot of this section. Now when vibe coding, if you can just give visual representations, it's always super helpful. So anytime I want to change something, I screenshot the exact section and I'm like, do this, put this here. So what we're going to do is just attach both of these images. All right, so we've attached the image of the screenshot and now we've gotten the prompt running on both of these. So I'm going to let both of these do their thing and then we'll check back and see what they put out. So already you can kind of see how they operate differently. Claude, I can see the design clearly. It's kind of explaining the design. ChatGPT kind of wrote out different options for our headlines because we talked about a stronger headline, and it's laid out kind of what the structure of that section will look like, and it started to generate the code. So here Claude is still doing its thing, so we'll check back in and see what our next update looks like. You know, one difference as they're still going is you can see GPT is like writing the code for you here, as you can watch, and Claude is sort of just doing it in the back end. So not that that really makes a difference. At the end of the day, the end result is what matters, but just something to take note of here. And for those of you watching and you're wondering why I'm not using Claude Code, I do use Claude Code a lot. However, for this video and this comparison, I want to put the direct, just online LLM standard modes against each other. Because most people I talk to, this is what they're using, but I am a huge fan of Claude Code. Okay, so ChatGPT just finished. I should have started a timer to get the exact time, but I did look at the clock, so it's been about 2 minutes and change. I'd say probably about 2.5 minutes for ChatGPT to generate this. Claude looks like it just finished as well. Now, one thing that's cool about Claude is it actually generates the preview for you right here. And Claude actually went and did a lot more than I asked it to. So I had just asked it to do the first section, but Claude went over here and just went crazy with everything. Let's see if ChatGPT did the same thing. I'm wondering if it did, because this was a pretty long section. So what's great with Claude is I can just see it right here, but for ChatGPT, they don't necessarily have that preview, or do they? It's not as good for sure. This is actually new. I've actually not seen this before. This must be new, but it's not working anyway. So we're going to go ahead and grab our code, and I'm going to go into my HighLevel landing page and just paste it into my code element right here and click save, and let's preview. So you can see it did just do the one section, but right away, like, there's all of these all the wrappers around it, which is a typical issue I run into with HighLevel. They have these wrappers by default. You can get the LLM to override them, which is what I would do next. Find players, build games, play more. So personally, I'm sort of surprised by this, but I sort of favor GPT because it actually followed the directions and it only did this one section. Whereas Claude, and you know what, let's just copy the code in here and let's just look at the actual preview instead of the Claude preview. So when we open up Claude's here, again, HighLevel had those wrappers, so we would have to have it override. Yeah, so both of them need some work. I don't really love that it went ahead and just pre-built this stuff and like made up these mock-ups, because I have actual mock-ups, right, of the platform. Like, I would take screenshots of this, right? So it mocked up this whole thing for the game, but in reality, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take screenshots of the game and I'm going to create nice mock-ups. So in this test right here, I would probably just continue to roll with ChatGPT because it went ahead and actually followed the prompt, and it gives me something that's a little bit easier to work with, which I'm a bit surprised at. Now, in previous tests, I've typically favored Claude. So what I think I'm learning, at least right now, based on a bunch of different projects I've run between the two, is that if I'm looking to build out something like this where I want to go section by section, I'm finding more success with ChatGPT. However, if I'm building out something like a full site, like I used Claude the other week to just take a client brief of their website build, and I fed it to Claude and it built the entire thing for me in one go, it was great for that. Whereas when I did it at ChatGPT, it really didn't function well. So I think, at least right now, for me, in my experience, if I'm going section by section here, I'm probably going to continue to roll with GPT. I'll keep testing Claude, but for now I'm going to continue to roll with GPT. But if I'm building an overall big project all at once in one fell swoop, I'm probably going to go with Claude. But if I was you, I would continue to test both of these and figure out how you can make them work together, figure out what's better for what use case, and really, you have so many tools at your disposal now when it comes to vibe coding. Figure out what's best for you and your workflows and what you're looking to build, and then master that. And continue to look for better tools and faster workflows, because this is really completely changing the game for me. Anyways, if you found this interesting, go ahead and give it a like. Thanks so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. If you have a question, leave it down below. I've got free stuff in the description, as well as my email if you want to reach out. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.